Hello everybody, I am back with another voiceover video. This is me playing on Classic Castle. The gear requirements are only green and blues, so the fights are really fun. They're a lot more balanced, there's not any crazy set bonuses, fights are a bit longer typically. It's actually a lot of fun, so I do want to cover this game specifically and just kind of talk about the gameplay. And then I do want to talk about the update at the end, kind of my thoughts on it. So here we spawn right next to a pyromancer, which is funny because they were trying to reduce this problem of spawning next to players, but we're going to try to circle around him for the backstab here. We are able to get the double backstab, and I am being very picky and not trying to use my quick blades, which resulted in me taking a bunch of damage. Typically I like to use my quick blades right after I'm pushed, but I'm always very wary of third parties or anything like that happening, so if I don't have to use it, I don't like to. But in that situation, yeah, I probably should have. It's usually better to do it right then when they push you, especially if you have the lead on damage. And then always make sure to look around and heal up before looting. This guy was geared the best he can be in this game mode. Full blue set. Gonna try to move on, find the next player. I see some stuff going on up there. It looked like a cryomancer. And right here, the only way to get up is jumping, which still makes noise when I'm invisible. But I have to reset my invisibility anyway, so I just decided to do it. Since killing this bug makes noise, I might as well jump up now. So no backstab lead, but it's still really good damage on the dagger combo with the poison and force of trinity. And it turns out it's a priest and not a cryo. So I'm using the dagger combo whenever he tries to heal, and using the dual swords whenever he tries to block. End the fight really quick, and of course I gotta move and look around before I loot. It's a really bad spot to be, and this is exactly why you gotta check your surroundings before you loot. So get the backstab lead. And just like with the pyromancer, typically when swordmasters use their Q, or I don't know if it's their Q or their E, but whenever they use that spinning sword ability, I like to quick blade out and then outweight that. But I was trying to save it, kind of put myself in a bad position. Whenever you're stuck like this with the swordmaster, the best way to end it is to just kind of hug them. It gives you the best chance at actually blocking the swords, otherwise they might go around your block. So it actually did let me block all four. I quick blade because he landed the riposte, and when I go in for the hit, he actually had the spinning blade back. Took me out of invis. Luckily he didn't push me here, the axe guy helped me out a lot. So dagger dash to get away because I'm thunderclapped. And now I need to escape because I'm now losing this fight. I almost get greedy enough to attack him on that bandage, but I figured he would get it off before I got there, and that would leave me with lower health than him. So I decided to back off. There's a panther here. I'm trying to see if they'll fight, but it doesn't look like they will. And since my invisibility is about to run out, I gotta go. Fast forward a bit, tried to reset on a bat and end up stabbing that eyeball. Get hit with another riposte, so I quick blade out. I'm gonna go hide next to the werewolf here. Let him use his swords close range so they get blocked. And then the ensign kills something and gives me invis. And right there I would have been able to end the fight until a goblin shoots me. Pulls me out of invis and hurts really bad. So now I'm resetting again. It looks like he wants to do the same. So now we've had two interactions with this player here. There's definitely some fighting going on those stairs, but usually tight areas like those staircases or hallways, they're pretty difficult to deal with. Mainly because on Rogue you need some room to move around a bit. So I decided to go up and around the other side so I don't get caught on those stairs. But I see a kill happened in the feed, so I know somebody's over there and they're hurt, so I'm going to try to catch them before they can heal. And beautiful timing, my invisibility runs out right before I get the stab on him, so I miss out on the poison. But the tree is just insane, it pushed me off. It's a legendary tree. I do want to try to find a way to climb up, but it doesn't look like there's a way. But then here's our friend from earlier, and I figure he might fight that druid, so I need to go down and get up and around, and maybe third party them. But first, of course, gotta reset your invisibility. Making sure Vanish is always up and ready to be used is super important. So I'm just looking around real quick. I'm gonna reset on this goblin and try to get back up in there. I'm assuming that the Swordmaster and Druid are gonna fight on those same stairs. But after a while of waiting around and looking down in the courtyard, I do see a new player as well, and I have yet to see the Swordmaster or Druid again. But I see nothing going on in the feed, and I don't hear players fighting. After 2 fights with that Swordmaster, I'd feel more comfortable fighting him in a third party. So I'm kind of waiting for something to happen. And as we're going back up again, we run into the Druid. Missed the opening poke, but I still get the poison applied. And here, you'll see this a lot. Druids love to kind of play defensively around their trees, which is great. But fire flasks are a super good counter to that. Not only does it make them move, a lot of times it'll kill the tree like it did there. And now I want to push up on that damage, because he was in the fire for quite a bit, and we got the poison. And luckily he does not see us, and we're able to get the finish here. Now before looting, I want to check up top, because there was still the Swordmaster and Fighter unaccounted for. And then just right there, I saw that beam, and in the feed it shows someone got a kill, and we're able to get behind the Swordmaster and finish him off. He did not check around or loot, or check around before looting. That's about it for the gameplay on that one match, but I do kind of want to talk about the update. So I think there's a lot of positives. I'm very happy with all the map changes, and the insurance system is really nice. I think there's still a few problems. I think the player base is a bit too small to have 3 game modes now. And not only do we have 3 game modes, but we're also allowed to choose the map that we want to play. And it's kind of resulted in very, very long matchmaking times. It seems a lot of people really like Classic Castle. I don't ever have issues finding people in here. But if I want to play hard mode, or even Classic Sinners, I have like seriously like 5 to 10 minute wait times. I think me and my duo even got up to 14 minutes at one point. But I'm hoping that can get solved at some point, but mostly just super positive about the update. I'm very happy. I really, really enjoy the Classic Castle fighting greens and blues, because set bonuses have just been running rampant. They're very strong, and they just make fights play out a lot differently. The issue I have, though, is it has kind of made blues and greens price skyrocket. There's even some greens that you can't even get your hands on. Like, there's just none being sold. That's, like, 1, because people want them, and 2, because they reduce the gear drops from mobs. So there's not a lot of gear to go around, and, like, for example, like the blue pair of leather pants I'm wearing costs like 30,000 gold for a blue pair of pants. So the loot isn't very strong in Classic Castle, but the gameplay is really fun. Everyone's paying all this money to play in greens and blues, but you don't really get money from it. There's definitely a ton of money to be made from the other classic Sinners or hard mode. I'll probably cover that at some point as well, some classic Sinners or even hard. But overall, I'm very happy with the update, and I'm looking forward to making some more videos about it. That's about it. Bye.